All right, so fourth on the draft order was Doobie, and CBS has given him a D plus. I will give him a D minus. Now I'll take that. I'll give him a D. So I'm in line with that, and I'll get into why and all that good stuff. But let's start with his keepers. So Aaron Rodgers was in the first, T.Y. Hilton in the seventh. Taking a quarterback in the first is not a surprise in this league. It's been done years and years and years, so no issues about that. T.Y. Hilton in the seventh, clearly value there, so a good start on the keepers off the bat. In fact, I liked his draft up until the fifth round, and then I don't know what happened, Doobie, but it seemed like you lost track, or I don't know, maybe the booze was kicking in. I'm not exactly sure. But I, I guess in the second, we'll back up to the second. I don't have a problem with the pick of Sanders. I just probably would have looked for a running back in that spot, Miller, someone like that. But no big deal, whatever, it's fine. You actually ended up with, okay running backs with Rashad Jennings, Andre Ellington, and Shane Vereen and Bishop Shanky. I mean, they're not spectacular, but they're completely fine for, two RB2s in your starting lineup. But we get to the fifth round, and you picked up Jason Witten. He's 33 old. I think he was here when they invented the wheel. And at that point in the draft, I literally would have taken anybody else. Anyone. Sixth round, you picked up Stafford when you have Rodgers. So everyone in the leagues thanks you for that. Just dropped everyone else down a player they probably wouldn't have otherwise got. So I don't get that one. You could have someone like Vincent Jackson in your starting lineup, and he would have been in your starting lineup, and he would have been healthy because I think you have 5 wide receivers here, and all of them have the plus sign next to them. 3 of them aren't going to be starting at least for a month, and the other 2 are questionable. One of them is Victor Cruz, who's on your bench to begin with. So I would have probably grabbed a wide receiver there instead of Stafford. And then, let's continue on down the draft, and you had a defense, which is the Seahawks, which, history says that they're great, but they're not the same this year, so, okay, if I would have picked that early for a defense, I probably would have went for someone else. And then we get to the 13th round, and then you pick up Phillip Rivers. Again, I'm not sure if you have grand plans of trading these guys if someone gets hurt or something like that, but just the value at that low with a quarterback, usually you can find somebody off a waiver wire who's not going to get you that same level of, of production, but you won't have to give up anything either in a trade. So as soon as you hit 5th round to the 13th round, I wasn't really following any of those picks. I just highlighted a few of them. So I don't know. That's, I guess, what I think about the chunk of the middle of your draft. What do I have here? I'm not sure what I wrote down there, but anyway, that's my thoughts on that. Overall, I think your team's better than you drafted, so I wouldn't call your team a D. Between Ellington and Rashad Jennings, again, no problem there. T.Y. Hilton, Emmanuel Sanders, no problem there. You don't really have a good flex. Maybe Sankey will do something this year. But what I'd probably do with my first order of business is drop one of those QBs and look for some other player that actually might bring value to your team there. Otherwise, that's my thoughts. I know it's probably a bit critical, but it is what it is.